tour starts at the Lougheed House, built in 1891 by James and Isabella Lougheed, two prominent citizens of early Calgary. This grand sandstone mansion became home for the couple and their 4 children. The Lougheeds were a family of readers. As a girl, Isabel Hardesty read literary works at Wesleyan Ladies' College in Hamilton, Ontario. James became an avid reader as an adolescent growing up in Toronto's Cabbagetown. In 1892, a year after they built their Calgary home, James Lougheed was named honorary president of the Calgary Literary and Debating Society. The senator was known to quote Shakespeare, and the Lougheeds often gave the works of the bard as a wedding gift instead of the more customary china and crystal. Their library contained 10,000 volumes. There were bookshelves on every floor of the house, and in 1907, the Lougheeds expanded the house to include a formal library on the lower level. Before the first public library opened in Calgary in 1912, a couple of blocks east of Lougheed House at Central Memorial Park, the Lougheeds Library was used as the city's reference library. After Lady Lougheed died in 1936, their library was dispersed and sold at auction. We know that at least one of Lady Lougheed's books, an inscribed novel by Winifred Eaton Reeve, otherwise known as Onoto Watana, this book found its way into the special collections at the University of Calgary. And that book, that signed book, was the inspiration for the exhibit Storied City. The Lougheeds and their house were also represented on the literary page. The house is mentioned in Isabel Patterson's 1916 Calgary novel, The Shadow Riders. She calls it that quaint old baronial castle uptown. In the 1930s, an unpublished story by Winifred Eaton Reeve mentions a family modeled after the Lougheeds. And here's a bit from that story called Tough Girl. The Catherwells were highly respected and important people of the city of Greytown. Mrs. Catherwell, whose personality dominated so many social and welfare clubs of the city, was credited with having made her husband. Besides being an esteemed ornament of the legal profession, Norman Catherwell was a member of numerous lodges, fraternal societies, and organizations. That's an excerpt from the story Tough Girl by Winifred Reeve. A woman much like Lady Lougheed shows up as the protagonist in Floss Jewell Williams' 1950 novel, Fold Home. In that story, the narrator is the septuagenarian widow of a senator. She has Indigenous ancestry, lives in a grand home, and, like Lady Lougheed, is facing economic hard times. Floss Jewell Williams was a novelist who started writing in 1920s Calgary, and she had a special interest in exploring women's lives on the page. And Fold Home is a very interesting novel about this elderly Calgary woman modeled on, I believe, Lady Lougheed.